Welcome back to the realm of the mindful madman. I think something that we all have to realize, or at least remind ourselves, especially when you are trying to do the right thing and trying to live righteously and reach that enlightened state and get closer to God and really tap into your purpose all the way, but you feel like as you are trying to climb out of that hole, it just feels like what do you call it? It feels like as you're climbing out of that depth, out of that well, that's a good example, as you're climbing out of the well, and right before you're about to climb out on top, you miss your footing and you fall right back down. And you keep doing this over and over. You gotta remind yourself, or you have to realize, that just like there are legions of demons that desire you to die not fulfilling your purpose, that desire you to always fall short and not be anything in this life, there are also legions of angels that desire you to be great, and that every time you do something just the slightest bit in the right direction, they're rejoicing with the Most High. They're praising Yah because they're seeing that you're putting in effort to climb out of darkness into the everlasting light. And the reason why I say it's good to keep that in the back of your mind is because this journey can get very, very lonely. There are times where you really will feel like there's nobody there, even if you're surrounded by people. And let's keep it a buck. Even sometimes, even though you know the Most High is always with you, sometimes you may not hear Him, may not feel Him. That's where the faith comes into play, right? Knowing that you can't always go off of how you feel, because sometimes our feelings lead us in the wrong direction, give us false information. You gotta go off of faith, which you believe to be true. There are legions of demons that desire you to fail. But there are even more powerful legions of angels that desire you to win. Yin and yang, two sides to every coin. Alright? Do you choose to allow yourself to wallow in darkness and just accept, I will never be anything? Or do you continue to fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail, fall and fall and fall and fall, hurt yourself, rise back up, climb, then fall right back down, but you're still climbing again, knowing that regardless of how many times you try, how many times you fall and you hurt yourself, eventually you're going to get out of that well. You're going to rise out of that pit. You have to keep reminding yourself that every single day. Because when you know that you're meant to do something, and you just feel like everything negative around you trying to stop you from doing that said thing, that's how you know that you will get out of it. I don't know if demons can tell the future or anything. I don't think they can, but I do think that entities of darkness can sense when you're on the cusp. Excuse me. I think they can sense when you're on the cusp of becoming something, or what's a good way of putting it? They can sense when you're on the cusp of entering a new chapter of your life that will really transform your entire existence. It's like a shift in a paradigm. I have a poem that I wrote. I'm going to pull it out real fast and read it. It's another poem that I wrote a very long time ago. By a long time ago, I mean like probably several months, maybe last year. Can't fully remember. But I wanted to share it with you. When triumph, this is the poem. It doesn't have a title or anything. When triumph is at your doorstep, know that torment is not far behind, longing to bask in your dwelling place, spoiling your reward. Don't give in. And essentially that means that you don't know what happens next, right? We're all actors in this play, but we've been given the script in a way, but we haven't been given every detail. We've been given the outline, right? But every finite detail we have not been received. Like we didn't get it. We don't know it. So even though you're an actor in the movie, actor in the play of life, you are also just kind of going through situations and parts of this play that you're not aware of, right? You can get ideas, you can get heads up on how to prepare, but you don't know exactly how to do X, Y, and Z until you're like in the midst of it. And then you use what you've learned spiritually, physically, mentally to get you through whatever situation that you're in. And I wrote that poem for myself and for everyone that reads it to remind you that when you feel like your whole world is falling around you and that nothing is going right, and let's say it's always that way, right? Let's say you always feel like nothing is going right, but this time it just feels like everything is just toppling. And you're doing what you can. You're actually trying. You're actually showing up to the ring, getting beat down, getting KO'd maybe a couple times, but you're still standing up and punching and taking blows and pushing forward. But you feel like this time it's literally at the brim, like you're about to explode. That's usually when breakthroughs happen. In order for us to truly appreciate certain things, sometimes we have to go through a very hard time to understand that what you've received wasn't an easy thing, it wasn't an easy task, that you had to overcome a lot to get to where you are now. And it allows you to be more empathetic to others who are going through whatever situation that you already went through. And demons in the kingdom of darkness are so pathetic because they can tell, they know when someone is meant for greatness and when someone is not. And as those who were meant for greatness receive the most disgustingly hard battles in their own, every which way. Not everyone's battle is the same. And they may not know when the Most High is about to swoop in and save you and open doors to the next phase of your life, but they feel it. And I'm sure you might feel something too, but you're focusing too much on the struggle. And that's exactly what I do too. I know y'all's about to turn up in my life any day now, but the struggle has been real, man. I'm talking about you wake up feeling good, right? Affirmations, pray, read your Bible, read a verse, and you go in the bathroom, you look at yourself, and you just like feel awful. Not necessarily your body per se. Well, I'm talking about myself, not necessarily my body per se, but like I'll smile, and then I'll just like, they'll turn straight into a frown. Like it's just like, it's demonic, yo. This is really what the type of war is like. The mental and spiritual war within yourself. But y'all about to turn up, and they know that. So in order for them to keep you in that well, hoping that you might just give up, so you don't receive your blessing, you don't receive your reward, you don't open the door to the next phase, they throw everything they got at you. But one thing I realized about myself, because the Most High made me this way, I wasn't always a confident person growing up. I still struggle with it a little bit, even today as we speak. But I know I'm not a punk. And I know that if I put my mind to something, even if I fail 3,029 times or whatever, I'm gonna get it one way or the other. I might open that door with a bunch of scratches, black eye, freaking clothes falling off because they've been ripped, limping, twisted ankle. I'm speaking metaphorically, but it could be physically for some people. All that could happen. But I'm still going to make it. You have to see it like that. You always have to see it like that. That even if they believe these entities think that they got you, and you might feel like you on your last breath, do not give up. Don't do it. You see, your body naturally wants to protect you from pretty much dying, right? So the reason why our flesh is so like biblically it says deny the flesh, because the flesh only wants to live, right? Like, here's an analogy. I believe in an afterlife. I believe there's life after death. So if the flesh is part of you, right, but the spirit is also part of you, I also believe that when you die, the flesh you have now, the skin you can touch now, doesn't come with you. It's an entity that rots and goes back into the earth, right? But your spirit makes it on into the afterlife. So the reason why I believe that our flesh is pretty much our enemy in many regards is because all it's trying to do is preserve itself. They don't give a damn about your spirit. The flesh don't give a damn about your spirit. The flesh just wants to preserve itself, because it knows that one day, if this person dies, I'm no longer. But the spirit continues on. The spirit continues on. You gotta look at it like that. So, if the flesh knows that one day it will die, right? And it has an expiration date, the spirit does not have an expiration date. I don't believe the spirit dies. Then they're going to do everything they can to remain alive, including, and the thing is, part of it is good, right? Part of that is good. That's why you have like feeling and stuff. Like, If you touch a hot stove, ow, it burns. If you didn't have any nervous system and nerves in your body, you would probably die sooner, because your body wouldn't be alert to danger. It would work that way, right? But there's another side to that. The other side is the flesh wanting to live comfortably so much that it kind of forces you or convinces you not to go after certain things, or not to push a little bit harder, because it, in its mind, it's just thinking about survival, right? So like in sports, usually when you start to get tired, your body is gonna try to your body will react, and then your flesh will send signals to your mind to be like, hey, maybe we should stop. Maybe we should stop exercising. It's getting hard now, right? But the only way to actually become better at something is to push past your threshold. So then you're basically training your mind to go longer in the struggle, so that you can actually become better at whatever it is that you're doing. And in order to do that, you kind of have to allow your spirit to work. Give your spirit the wheel and allow the spirit to take over. But the flesh is so loud, it's like, no, you're killing me, when you may not even be killing you yourself. It may not even be the case. Flesh just wants to be comfortable. So it continues to keep you in this low vibration of not elevating, because it's uncomfortable. But once you realize the true nature of the flesh, which it doesn't care about the spirit, it's only there to preserve itself, then everything that you do and everything that you feel, you start to see the reasons and the implications behind it. That's why it says, Proverbs 25:28, one of my favorite Bible verses, he who has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. I mentioned that in another video. I think it was the one the video called A Stable Man. So if you know that if you have no rule over your spirit, you're like a city broken down without walls, that basically means that if you allow your flesh to run the show, it's not strong enough to go against demonic entities that want you dead. It's not strong enough. The spirit is. Especially if your spirit is in conjunction with the Most High. Your flesh is not in conjunction with the Most High. Your flesh is of this earth. The spirit comes from Yah. You feel what I'm saying? So if you walk in the spirit and you see everything spiritual, and when you're trying to do the right thing, and you just feel like you're getting bombarded with fleshly desires, or people just annoying you randomly, or whatever the case may be, then you have to sit and think, am I on the cusp of something? Is y'all about to move me out of this situation and into something else? Is this the last test? Because at the end of the day, the Most High is the orchestrator of everything, right? He runs the show. So if a demon is if you feel like the negative entity is aggravating you, you allowed it to test you, to see if you're really going to stick this through. I wrote something else a long time ago. This is probably 2020, maybe 2019. I said, our flesh has been trying to kill us since birth. And that's facts. And I know it's sometimes it's hard to think about, to separate your body from your spirit, but they're two separate entities. We already know that the skin is an organ, right? We learned that in school. Skin is an organ. Your skin breathes. Your skin pretty much has its own brain of its own, right? It reacts to your environment. Your skin is literally its own entity, your flesh. So, in knowing that, you just have to realize that at the end of the day, the only thing that truly, truly matters is the development of the spirit. And I'm not saying that your body doesn't matter. Your body does matter. You do need to build up your temple and take care of yourself, right? And even within that, this is so crazy. This came to my mind. Even within that, the act of taking care of your body, the act of taking care of your temple is not easy. It actually is quite hard, regardless if you're skinny naturally or fat naturally or whatever. It's actually really hard to remain consistent and take care of your body. And there might be people like, oh, it's not hard, I go to the gym all the time. But there was a point in time where someone who is an avid gym goer, who's an avid person that works out a lot, there was a point in time where they didn't do that. And they had to force themselves into a habit to continue to do that day in and day out. Because even the flesh doesn't want you to be healthy. You feel what I'm saying? It's really deep. The flesh just wants comfort. The flesh just wants to feel good, right? And feeling good doesn't always equate to eating fruits and vegetables or exercising. Because sometimes you have to exercise hard in order to gain muscle, in order to lose weight. That's uncomfortable. The flesh does not like that. So it tries to send signals to your mind to stop mid-workout and give up. Go back and lay down on the couch. I feel better now. No. You do the opposite. And that's the same thing with every other endeavor in your life. Spirit over flesh always. Spirit over flesh. We're entering a time, or we're already in that time where you're really about to see who really is about spirit over flesh. You're really about to see. You for real about to see. The decisions that people make, the way they handle things under pressure, under chaos, is a good indication if they're operating in the spirit or they're operating in the flesh. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you operate in the flesh, especially in these times, in every situation, you are more likely to die sooner. Either through, I don't know, something internally that erupts inside of you because you stressed too much, or you listened to your flesh over your spirit and you got yourself in a situation that got murked, up out of here. But the spirit can see past the physical realm. The flesh can't see. The flesh can only see in the physical realm because it's not spiritual. It can only see in the realm that it was created in. But the spirit was not created on earth. It was created in the heavenly realms with the Most High. We came to earth. So when you operate in the spirit, you can see things that the flesh cannot, which preserves you. Preserves your spirit. Allows you to stay here a little bit longer so that you can fulfill your mission. But if you operate in the flesh, then all the spiritual dark forces and demonic entities can run circles around you. And you wouldn't have anything to do. You couldn't throw up no punches, you couldn't block no shots, nothing. Because you're not operating in the spirit. Spirit over flesh. You have to think of that in every single interaction, situation that you have. Literally. When someone bothers you, or you feel a negative entity just being around someone, they're so annoying, they try to throw jabs at you. Yeah, you can get mad at the person. That's a natural human emotion, right? But then when you think deeper, you're like, dang, This person is being ridden like a freaking soldier on a horse, and that person is the horse and the demon is a soldier. They're getting rode all around. They have no control over themselves by demons. People who are evil and negative, that is a demonic spirit, and they don't know it. So when someone lashes out at you, that's why the second agreement and the 4 agreements, I think it was the second agreement or the 3rd agreement, take nothing personally, because everything is spiritual at the end of the day. So it's really the demonic entity using the person to get to you, not the person himself. Spirit over flesh. That's it. That is it. I'm going to read the poem one more time. I really hope that you listen to it, not with your ears, but with your heart, with your spirit, that it permeate your entire soul and existence. When triumph is at your doorstep, know that torment is not far behind, longing to bask in your dwelling place, spoiling your reward. Don't give in. It's the Mindful Madman, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.